How often do you grab your driver, you stood on the tee, and every so often you hit a nice one down the middle of the fairway, but sometimes you just hit it left, or you hit it right, and you feel like you've done exactly the same swing, but you just don't know what's going on. How do you learn to hit drivers straight consistently? Well, I want to stop you doing what a lot of my students come to me with drowning in lots of different swing tips that may or may not work. Because there's one principle that works every single time. And if you learn this principle, I absolutely promise you, you will have one tool to help you hit drivers straight on a more consistent basis. Let's get into the video now. Let me show you what that is and how you can go about putting it into every single club, not just your driver, but every single shot you hit. And that principle is face to path. What is face to path? Well, if you slice a golf ball, what's actually happening is your face is aiming in one direction and your path is aiming in another direction. So if you slice it, for instance, the face would be aiming, for me as a right-hander, to the right, and my path will be heading to the left. If I do this, for instance, okay, this is what tends to happen. And what you'll start to see is a ball that slices off to the right of the target. Now, if you hook the golf ball, the opposite's true. The face is aiming to the left of the path. So the path is going in one direction and the face is aiming left of where that's going. And if we do that, this is what tends to happen. And you'll start to see a different shape. So if you'd like to learn how to hit drivers straight up more consistently, you'll need to learn how to feel, how to control that face to path. And the great thing for you is it can mostly be done before you've even taken the club back, just at setup. So I had a student of mine this week, Tina, and she sliced it really badly. We fixed the face to path very, very quickly, just in setup. And she started hitting, going from these kind of sky shots, shots pulling left, shots slicing right, to these laser straight drives. More importantly,
what a drive.
She felt it. She felt the difference, and that's what you're going to get today. So let's do this together. I'm going to show you a slice setup, a hook setup, and then the setup what is perfect, so you can feel it. So most people that slice are completely unaware of this. So put your arms out like this for a second. Okay, now our arms the palms can turn down and everything can turn this way. So you see my elbows can point down to the ground or they can point out to the side. When a slicer I'll spit it out in a second. When a slicer sets up to the golf ball, this is what I see 99% of the time. The elbow at setup is pointing down to the ground and they grip the golf club like this. Then they put their trail hand on and the elbow is pointing out to the side. They look at the face and you go, well, Danny, that's straight. It is. But the problem is my trail arm is higher than my lead arm. If I put this club down to the ground now, and I see this all of the time, you should be able to see my left arm, my lead arm, underneath my left. What you're seeing now is my forearms misaligned. My forearms are aiming in this direction where the face is aiming in this direction. So where's the face? It's pointing right of my path. Watch this. I'm going to make a shot now. Just do a normal golf swing. Watch what happens. Watch this. What is my face to path? My face to path is 13.3 degrees open, and I've just hit a massive slice. Massive slice. All because of my setup. So how do we correct this? You simply reverse it. So what we're going to do for a second now is this. We'll find a balance. What I did with Tina was this. Take your arms out. Tina, we're going to swap these around. You had this and this. What we're going to do now is reverse this. We're going to turn this on top and this underneath, right? Then we're going to hold the golf club. 1, 2. We reversed it. This would be probably too much, but we're going to do that first so you can feel the difference between these two. So now look at this. You can see a face that's square, but now if you look down the line, what do you notice? You now see my left hand, my lead hand above my trail hand. So now I have a path that is working what direction? Out to the right. this is a feeling that I want you to create. So again, I'm going to do exactly the same swing I've just done on the previous one, but because of my face to path is already closed at setup, we will see a ball that turns from right to left. And you can see here, look, my face to path is closed and we get the movement right to left. So we don't want either, do we? We don't want to slice and we don't want to hook. But now you know what you need to do in a really extreme cases to start to create both shapes. Now you can do that, and this is what I would definitely practice first. If you're a hooker, go towards more the slice feeling. If you're a slicer, move towards more the hooker feeling. So it's really important that your body can feel those two movements, because once it feels it, then what we can do, it's like almost like an old radio, we can start to tune it. So how do you then learn to find something in between of that? Well, let's imagine we're slicing it. We're going to turn that elbow, feeling like it's pointing outwards. But rather than have the whole hand now, like this, which would be what we call very strong, that would be hook. All I'm going to do now is just turn my hand more this way. But my elbow has stayed the same. Does it make sense? My elbow's still pointing there, but my hand is on the golf club slightly different, more turned this way. With my trail hand, I turn it flat. I don't want to hold the club like this, so I'm just going to bring the palm so it faces more the target, but where's my elbow still? Still pointing to the ground. Now what we've done, we've neutralized that forearm so it's nowhere near as much as this, but it is more neutral. This would give me now a much, much straighter drive. And we can see there, look at this. Now suddenly my face to path is almost perfect and we hit a lovely, lovely straight drive. So that's what you start with. Get really good, first of all, at this. There's another step to come in a second, so bear with me. But get good at the face to path. If you can control this, I cannot tell you what it will do with your golf swing. If your face is open, for instance, if your face is open coming down, your face to path, you are going to have to do all kinds of weird stuff to try and square it. It destroys your swing. If your face to path is good, it creates great looking golf swings. So that is stage number one. Just doing that, just that alone, you will be amazed at what it does to your ball striking and your overall game. But one other thing, you've got your hands and arms. What about the body? Again, let's keep this incredibly simple. How do we control the face to path, not just with our hands and arms, but also your body too? Super simple. Just imagine a dot here and a dot here. The more this upper dot here gets ahead of the lower dot, i.e. the middle of your pelvis, the more we're into slice territory. Watch this. This would be now moving bit by bit by bit by bit by bit to more hook territory, like this. Look at this. Slice, hook. Look at this from this angle. From here, look. Slice. You can see here, look, that's going to get me coming down and across to the left. Add an open face so that we hit a slice. Where's the path going to go now? Well, if we line up the face here, look, and we start to get back here, that's now moving towards hook territory. So again, feel that. Hit some shots, by the way. Don't be shy of it. So like, for instance, if somebody slices the golf ball, I'm going to get them to imagine that this upper center is always behind their lower center as they're swinging through the shot. So I almost imagine their head stays very much, feels like almost behind the golf ball. Yeah? As they're coming through the shot. Most slicers, they tend to move this way. So controlling that. So let's look at this in action. So if I get, for instance, my upper center ahead of my lower center, watch what happens. Yeah, so watch this. We're going to see a big slice, face to path, massively open because I've just done that. So same principle, let's grab a tee. If I wanted to reduce that with my body alone, all I would do is get the sensation, feel it. This is where I want to be. Okay, feel it. Right, okay, so this is going to be, if I slice the ball, feeling this exaggerated motion here, combine that with this, and suddenly now, we're going to, quite strike that one, but it's just me exaggerating. Suddenly, we're going to be creating more of a hook style shot. But you can see here how to maneuver that and learn to feel the difference between those two is how you learn to control the face to path. Learn to control the face to path, and you will be amazed at what it does to every single part of your game. More importantly, it's going to save you thousands of hours practicing on random golf tips that probably won't improve anything whatsoever. Look, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, maybe share it with your any friends, and of course, look, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. I'll put a free download practice plan in that description box below. Once you've started to hit driver straighter, you're going to probably want to know how to add more distance to your driver. Once you've done this video and you've learned some of this, check this video out right here. But until next week, have a wonderful golfing week.